Hey, in Matthew 17, Mark chapter 9, and Luke chapter 9, we're told the story of the transfiguration, the Mount of Transfiguration, where Jesus gets to hang out with Moses and Elijah. And, there are definitely implications of that. There are many theologians that believe that that was actually Mount Hermon that they were on, because it is the largest mountain in the area, and it's really close to the place in Philippi where Jesus was just there earlier on in the Gospels. So, and of course, Mount Hermon is where the Elohim, the sons of God, the great rebellion itself came down, and these Elohim, rebelled against Yahweh in Genesis chapter 6. So it's an interesting sort of finishing touch to that story of the reversal of what happened in Mount Hermon. But all of those things point to this interesting subject, which is what's the purpose of the cloud of witnesses. You've certainly got Elijah and Moses as part of the cloud of witnesses there, and it seems that their job isn't finished. That even though they've gone to be with Yahweh in heaven or paradise, whatever it was at the time, that their job, that their role was just not over. That they still had some stuff to do, and that's kind of why they're there, sort of meeting with Jesus on this Mount of Transfiguration. And that's really the role of the cloud of witnesses. The cloud of witnesses are continuing their mission, if you want, their purpose, even after they go on to be with the Lord. And what I've discovered, and take this for what it is, but what I've discovered is that it's almost like we have a heavenly council, that we have this heavenly board of elders, if you want, this board of ministers that are actually, whose function it is to make sure that that their mission is complete. So let me give you an example. We hear a lot of people talking about like the mantles that people give. So and so is going to be with the Lord, I wonder who'll get their mantle. Well, actually what seems to happen is that there are a bunch of people, particularly sons and daughters of that minister, that are carrying a little piece of or a large piece of what their mission and purpose was. And then what happens with the cloud of witnesses is that minister who's gone to be with the Lord is still actively engaged in their purpose, their earthly purpose, their earthly kingdom purpose, right? So it could be that, the simplest way I can put it is that they sit on a committee meeting wondering what's happening with X, how they can intervene, how they can help, how they can sustain, how they can bring courage, how they can, continue to minister to the person that is carrying out their continued mission. And that actually really gives me great encouragement, because it's not really about, making sure we do this before we die, but it's just knowing that the purposes of God in our life will be fulfilled. And then the emphasis for me becomes on raising up sons and daughters to continue to carry that legacy, that purpose. So it's interesting that they would even, that Elijah, if I take it that Elijah and Moses, that their arrival on Mount Hermon, in this Mount of Transfiguration, was simply to help Jesus redeem and reverse the curse and the damage that had previously happened. And I think that's actually available for every single one of us. I think there are people that have gone to be with the Lord. It might even be parents, it might be grandparents, it might be other ministers, it might be people you're drafting in behind, that are actually there fighting for you, cheering you on, right? Just cheering you on. And I love this notion of being cheered on by the cloud of witnesses, because implicit in that is this notion of encouragement, and even the ability for the cloud of witnesses to bring encouragement and edification and all that kind of stuff, really prophesy over what it is we're doing. So that's my take on it, and I hope it helps.